The V9S, a weapon that in its heyday could compete at range against the XP54, the FCAR, AKM, and even the Lewis gun in its prime. In the beta, it was one of the most intimidating weapons to go up against, being able to melt any class in mere seconds with very little recoil and fall-off damage to match. For all intensive purposes, it was pretty much the LH1 with a faster fire rate and essentially non-existent recoil. Broken was by far an understatement. And then on release, this gun was unfortunately, or for some fortunately, brought back in line with other weapons. But what if I told you the V9S still has remnants of its former self, and all you need to do is spend a little bit of time learning and understanding the weapon to unlock its pre-nerfed potential? Because if you do, there will be very little that can compete against the V9S within short to medium range, allowing you to make quick work of any class that decides to challenge you. In this masterclass, we're going to go over the ins and outs of the V9S, how to use it and shoot it at all ranges, what gadgets and specializations will further enhance the performance of this weapon, and lastly, an in-game aim training routine designed to drastically improve your performance in the arena. But before we get into that, if this video helped you out in some way, shape, or form, please smash that like button. It's a small button for you, but has a major impact on my channel and its visibility. Also, subscribe for all things the finals. Let's jump into it. The V9S has 20 bullets in the mag, takes 1.3 seconds to reload, takes 1 second for a tactical reload, fires at 425 RPM, does 37 damage per bullet, and has a 1.5 crit multiplier, bringing its crit damage to 54 per bullet. Does 262.7 DPS, making it second only to the M11 by 4 damage, with a total of 740 damage per mag. It can kill a light in 0.36 seconds with body shots and 0.29 seconds with crits, kill a medium in 0.57 seconds with body shots and 0.4 seconds with crits, kill a heavy in 1.22 seconds with body shots and 0.56 seconds with crits. Now the V9S starts to have fall-off damage at around 15 meters, which leads me into my next topic, the most optimal ranges for this weapon. Even though damage fall-off starts at 15 meters, you can still eliminate targets effectively up to 20 by compensating with damage from critical hits. We have to remain within medium range in order to shred our targets and try our best to not engage opponents past 20 meters. Now you can technically kill a heavy, medium, or light at around 30 meters, however, this will more than likely take your entire mag, leave you vulnerable and out in the open for an extended period of time, as well as weapons such as the XP54, LH1, AKM, FCAR, and FAMAS demolishing you in half the time it takes you to finish the mag when engaging beyond 20 meters. So rather than trying to test the limits of the weapon, let's try to maximize its potential within the effective ranges. Starting with close range. When engaging an opponent that is within 5 meters, always utilize HipFire without any exception. If you want to increase the accuracy and decrease the bullet spread of your HipFire, crouch while firing. There is one thing I need you to be aware of though. If you have auto sprint turned on, I highly suggest that it be turned off. Although it may not seem like a lot, the bullet dispersion will cause you to miss vital shots that will more than likely lead you to losing the majority of your engagements. If you still want auto sprint turned on though, try using a 0.4 delay on it, so you can at least get 3 shots off before the bullet spread widens. This will drastically increase your chances of winning close quarter engagements against lights and mediums. Now in terms of heavy, having auto sprint turned on or off doesn't really matter, because the target is bigger than the increase of bullet dispersion. However, engaging a heavy head on within 5 meters should be avoided at all costs, because it will either lead to an insta-death by sledgehammer, being dragged in by a winch claw, then getting insta-killed, or ending up in a draw from any one of the weapons in Heavy's arsenal. So if you must go against a Heavy at extremely close ranges, either take them by surprise so that you can at least get a couple of bullets before the target is aware of you, or wait for your teammates to damage or distract them. This logic can even be extended into the 12-meter range, primarily because of the winch claw sledgehammer combo, which results in death 9 times out of 10. So when you're in the firing range, I highly suggest that you start memorizing how this amount of distance looks like. Speaking of medium range, this weapon should be treated like every other weapon that is effective in these ranges, by utilizing cover whenever possible, as well as using enclosed routes to close the gap and engage opponents at the weapon's optimal ranges. This also minimizes the amount of vantage points the enemy can have on you. What makes this weapon potent is not necessarily where you shoot it within its effective ranges, but rather how you shoot it. Understanding this is the factor that transforms the V9S from an average weapon into a shredding machine that can one-clip a medium and light with ease within 15 meters. But I'm going to stop myself right here and get more into that when we hit the training routine part of this video. For now though, let's dive into what specializations and gadgets will further enhance the performance of the V9S, starting with specializations. Oh, hold on, there's technical difficulties. It's CNS trying to send a message, and that is my partnership with Apex Gaming PCs. If you want to take your gaming experience to the next level, especially if you're coming from console, thus improving your FPS, FOV, and handle all tasks such as video editing as well as streaming with a more than capable CPU, then look no further because Apex's new pre-built lineup has got you covered with the Apex Streamer and Streamer Plus, as well as a more budget-friendly option that doesn't make you sacrifice quality or performance with the Apex Bronze. All these PCs are designed to meet and exceed your gaming and streaming needs, which is especially important in a graphically demanding game like the finals, making CNS the only thing you need to worry about. Also, Apex has made it easier now than ever before to become a PC owner by allowing you to pay in installments starting as low as $58 a month. And if something goes wrong with that PC, you've got nothing to worry about with 24/7 customer service along with a 1-year standard parts replacement warranty. So if you guys want to check them out, I left a link in the description as well as pinned in the comments. Oh, please don't forget to use my discount code HAZED for 10% off when purchasing your Apex Gaming PC. Alright, so where did we leave off? Ah, yes, specializations. The V9S requires a consistent flow of damage up close. In other words, it requires a specialization that will allow you to quickly close gaps to engage, retreat out of engagements, and then to immediately restart them. This will result the player performing one of 4 critical actions to either eliminate, damage, distract, or clean up targets in order to shift the engagement to your team's favor. And as of now, the only 2 specializations that will provide that is Dash and Cloak. I would have included Grapple Hook, but unfortunately having a recharge rate of 8 seconds is a lifetime in an engagement that will give the opposing team a huge window of opportunity to set up their defense or recover. With the V9S, the goal is to always be able to provide your team with quick, constant pokes of damage in order to maintain pressure on the opposing team. This even reflects how we choose the gadgets we pair with this weapon. The first and most important gadget being the Gateway. This gadget has tremendous amounts of utility. The reason why it specifically enhances the V9S is due to its ability to create windows of opportunity similar to Dash and Cloak, allowing you to instantaneously close gaps, flank, and if placed appropriately, even retreat. I essentially think of this gadget as another specialization charge to use when I run out of either Dash or Cloak during an engagement. This is an extremely powerful gadget that I highly recommend in any light's arsenal. Next is the Vanishing Bomb. For the very same reasons as Gateway, along with its incredibly fast recharge rate makes this gadget also a must-have for light. Now we have gadgets that will either weaken or distract opposing players. This includes the Stun Gun, Glitch Grenade, Flashbang, and last but not least, the Sonar Grenade. If placed on the opponent's flank, they will have no choice but to find who threw that sonar, and at the same time reposition to avoid detection, giving you and your teammates vital information and an opening when the opposing team is not strictly focusing on their defense. Now I would have included other gadgets such as the Grenade and Incendiary Grenade, but these gadgets, while effective in just about any situation, do not directly enhance this weapon's capabilities, hence why I'm leaving them out. With that being said though, you don't need to restrict your gadgets to the ones I recommended. If anything, just utilize the Gateway and Vanishing Bomb, and fill the rest of the slots with any of the gadgets that fits your playstyle the most. Now that we have a better understanding of the V9S, let's jump into the practice range. To start things off, we are going to do a 2-part centering warm-up. The first is with any stationary target in the practice range. Maintain the target in the center of the screen at all costs, moving around the target, doing 1-second strides from left to right, moving between close to mid-range. I also want you to maintain your HipFire at all times within 5 meters, as well as throwing in a couple of 1-second crouches to get used to firing that way within range. And when going beyond 5 meters, be sure to incorporate going in and out of ADS while strafing for 1-second segments. Do this for 2.5 minutes. Now we're going to perform the same actions, but this time make our way up to the roof of the building and utilize the light moving target. On a side note, this target sometimes does not appear in the practice range. If that is the case, just back out of the range and go back in until it does. While centering this target, I want you to remain within a 5-meter distance and try your best to move around and maintain centering of the target at all costs, remaining in HipFire for the entirety of the warm-up. This will help your eyes get used to tracking fast, close-range targets. Do this for 2.5 minutes. On our next warm-up, and debatably the most important for the V9S, is understanding the most optimal pace for the weapon that will not only maintain its lethality, but to also allow the player to track effectively. This is very important because of all the tiny micro adjustments that is needed to accurately track the target, and aggressively spamming the fire input as fast as possible will cause players to miss vital shots when the opponent is strafing in a particular direction. Yes, you can technically achieve the fastest time to kill by doing this. However, I assure you, this will not provide the player with the goal of consistent lethality that will maximize this weapon's DPS due to the V9S firing at 425 RPM and each bullet doing tremendous damage from both body and crit shots. In relation to that, the player is able to fire below the maximum RPM while maintaining a similar time to kill. The sweet spot for this is pacing your shots roughly between 390 to 415 RPM. In order to ingrain this pace into our shot pattern, I want you to stand right here and track the second moving target, finding a pace that will allow us to eliminate the target with less than 10 bullets. When you find this pace, strictly utilize it in every scenario of this training routine without any exception. This will not only help you maintain a consistent time to kill, but also increase your efficiency of each mag by only expending the amount of bullets needed to eliminate your target. Do this for 3 minutes. Next, we are going to start with our first scenario. By utilizing the same target and adding a layer of movement just like every other Masterclass, I want you to first start in HipFire, acquire your target, center it, and then proceed to go into ADS, utilizing model aiming to maintain the target, focusing on the area between the lower chest and the neck of the model. This scenario will be split into 2 parts. I want you to first eliminate 15 targets while counter-strafing by moving in the opposite direction of the target. When you are tracking, the priorities I want you to focus on is your pace and smoothness. Try to eliminate the target in one smooth continuous motion rather than sporadic jagged adjustments. Then eliminate another 15 targets while mirroring at 20 meters by mimicking the target's movements and keeping the reticle as stationary as possible, only making minor micro adjustments to maintain the target. Now, the reason why I prefer mirroring at these ranges is because it gives you the highest chance of landing your shots, keeping your bullets condensed rather than missing every other bullet while trying to dynamically track. This will also allow you to slightly increase your shot pace at longer ranges, thus giving you a faster time to kill. For the next scenario, we're going to utilize target acquisition by getting close to the barrier and using it as cover, ducking behind it, then pop up, acquire, and eliminate each target between the first moving target and heavy target. Follow the same process as the last scenario when acquiring your target. Also, utilize either mirroring or counter-strafing when engaging. Again, prioritize smoothness and pacing over everything else. Eliminate each target back to back for 3 minutes straight. From there, we're going to work on target switching by continuing to strafe in this position and acquire, center, ADSing, firing 1 bullet, and then going out of ADS to transfer to the next target. I want you to use model aiming when in the process of transferring to your next target by focusing on the player model rather than the reticle. Also, when you are firing at your current target, I want you to be mentally aware of your next destination. This decisiveness will help you smoothly transfer to your next target. I want you to shoot every target between the first and the heavy target for 3 minutes. In this next scenario, we're going to combine the aspects of the last 3 by incorporating target acquisition, switching, and tracking. Start by eliminating either one of the light targets to the left. Once one is eliminated, smoothly transition to the first moving target. You can also do this in reverse and start with the first moving target rather than one of the light targets. Again, please prioritize pacing and smoothness over everything else. When both targets are eliminated, duck behind cover and reload, then pop up and repeat the process again. Do this for 3 minutes straight. On our last but certainly not least scenario, we're going to make our way to the roof again to wrap things up with a fast-paced target acquisition scenario. I want you to move around freely and eliminate the light moving target as soon as it spawns. 15 times going into ADS, maintaining at least a 5 meter distance, and another 15 moving into extremely close ranges within 5 meters utilizing only hip firing. When you are this close, do exactly as you did in the warm-up and maintain centering as much as possible. The key to this scenario is to always be moving, strafing, and sliding even after you eliminate the target. This will help you maintain accuracy while also being as evasive as possible. And that about wraps things up, guys. I'll be honest with you, this weapon has been one of my favorites since the launch of the game, and hopefully after this video, it'll soon become one of yours too. I really hope you guys enjoyed this masterclass, and let me know if you guys have any other tips I might have left out. Again, please smash that like button if you found this video informative. It helps this channel in more ways than you can imagine. And also subscribe for upcoming masterclasses and all things the finals. Peace and love, guys, and I'll see you in the arena.